I do not have like the cool story of why I went in the Marine Corps. I did not anticipate going to war.
In the early stages of military operations to disarm Iraq,
Definitely scared right at first.
free its people.
I know that I have a better life now than I would have had I never made that decision to sign.
And to defend the world from grave danger.
Okay. So that's it right there, huh?
Between this and this,
Okay.
you can find all your pictures. Prior to my life in the Marine Corps, I grew up in a small town in North Dakota. I was born in '79. We were free range kids. We just ran around all over the place. My parents, for my upbringing, they worked hard. They owned businesses, so they weren't around. So I think it was 7th, 8th grade year I discovered music, playing music. And that was pretty much like the next 6 years of my life. Senior year, you guys start making those decisions and what you're going to do with life. Originally, I had planned that I was going to graduate high school, go off. I was going to go to college, at state, get a degree in teaching, become a teacher, probably move back home and teach. I spent a few years as a telemarketer. So I was doing that. And when you're an active, 20-year-old sitting there at a desk, calling people and getting yelled at all day isn't exactly what you want to do either. I had to find something better to do. But as a typical small town kid, just driving around at night, no real worries. I had a picture of my life. I graduated high school with like 3.9 GPA. I was a smart kid. I knew that I could do more than just work concrete or build buildings. I saw my life being doing more. I wanted to, influence people, things like that. So that's why I was thinking teaching. I do not have like the cool story of why I went in the Marine Corps. A lot of people are like, oh, 6 generations of my family were in Marines or in the military, or 9/11 happened and I had to go in. I don't have that kind of cool story. I had a buddy that was talking to a recruiter and I was laughing at him for talking to the recruiter. But then he started telling me about the benefits and things like that. And at that point in my life, I was like, this is what I need. With the way I am, I wasn't just going to go in the military, just join any branch. If I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it the best you can. I'm going to go to the hardest one. I was going to do it right. I needed out of North Dakota. I wanted something more. It was a dying town. My first year in the Marine Corps was exciting, to say the least. So I went in the Marine Corps May of 2001. I did 13 weeks of boot camp. Boot camp wasn't that bad. Then I got to learn how to shoot guns, which was awesome. So I got out of boot camp early September of 2001, which gets to be a little bit more significant for a lot of people.
There is a major incident in Lower Manhattan.
Apparently, a plane has just crashed into the World Trade Center.
We understand that a plane has crashed into the World Trade Center.
We have serious news of a major possible air crash in the United States.
One day my uncle comes running to my house and he said, "Get up, you're going to war, we just got attacked." And we turn on the TV just in time to see the second plane hit the Twin Towers.
Flew directly over my building.
Oh my goodness.
Oh God.
There's another one. There was another one.
Running away very, very quickly. There are more explosions further down the building.
And that really changed the direction of my Marine Corps time. Everything got a little more serious. I did, it's called Marine Combat Training, or MCT. We showed up and it was a very serious, somber time when we first got there, because of, there's people that just died and everything else, and other Marines were mobilizing, things were happening. They knew that our training was going to mean a little bit more now, because some people go in 4 years and never see anything. We were not going to get that opportunity, and they knew that. And then right around December, they said, "Yeah, you guys are going to Iraq." there was fear. I'm not gonna be like, oh, you know, I wasn't scared. No, yeah, I was definitely scared right at first. Especially, I was hopeful that, you know, maybe things would calm down by the time I got there. They didn't. But one of the cool things was the months between 9/11 and when we deployed, people loved military members. Like, we would go out and people were always buying us drinks, giving up their seats on planes. You know, the way the normal civilians viewed us, they knew what was coming though. The pride that I started to feel about being a Marine really kicked in during that time. But there was always that fear. You know, every day we were going in and updating our records because they were going to call. We were on call, and we always, like, every formation we had to go through and make sure all of our information was up to date so that they could get a hold of us. We had all these practice drills where they would do recalls, and if, you know, we had like 2 hours to get back to the base on a weekend. If you weren't there, you were in trouble. That's how it was for 2 or 3 months. We couldn't do anything without that fear of getting called in. And then we're always like, is this the time when they're finally going to be like, all right, guys, we're loading up and we're taking off. Yeah, so there'd be times, you know, of immense pride. There was a lot of partying and shenanigans and things like that just to try to keep our minds off of it. Marine all day, go back to the barracks or your apartment or whatever, and you're still Marining. So sometimes you have to get that out of your mind. Just go relax, have a good time, try not to think about war. So you just try to shut it out as much as you could. You really just hope that your training kicked in when you got over there. So the first moment I felt like a Marine, so in the Marine Corps, they have this thing that's called the Crucible. It's like 4 days, and you get like a meal, an MRE and a half. You get like limited sleep, a couple hours a day for the 4 days, and you're just going through all these exercises. And then when you get done, you wake up in the morning and it's like 0400, and you know it's dark, and you have to climb what they call Mount Motherfucker. And it's like 6 miles, almost like straight uphill. And this is at the end of the 4 days. You're tired, you're hungry, and you hump up this hill, you get to the top and you're dead, and it's, you know, afternoon now, the sun's blazing, everyone's hot, tired, wore out. But you get up there, and the drill instructors, they stop calling you recruit at that moment. As soon as you get up there, that's when they start calling you Marine or private. That moment when you get up there, final, usually a short guy because they have littler legs and they get behind, but when that last one comes across and they say, you guys are now Marines, that's when it hits. And that's when I felt it. It was like, this is something now. That moment, it's up there as like one of the top moments in my life. Going into the Marine Corps really changed the direction of my life. It changed every aspect of my life from there on forward. And I know that point where I completed that crucible was the point that my life changed. And everything since then hasn't been good, but it's been different. And I know that I have a better life now than I would have had I never made that decision to sign. That moment ranks up there with one of those great moments in my life where I knew that was something special. I learned that there was more in life than me and my family, and all of a sudden I had a greater sense of duty. At that moment, I knew that I would actually be willing to, you know, die for more than just my family. I would be willing to die for that guy next to me. I knew that there was, you know, parts of my past that I was never going to repeat again. There was things that happened as I was growing up that I was just not going to do again because I was now better than that. If I went out right now and broke a law, it would say former Marine breaks the law. It wouldn't say a veteran, or it wouldn't say accountant or anything else like that. So once you earn that title, like, you have this different mentality that, like, you got to protect the title because it never goes away. Once a Marine, always a Marine. And so you have to carry that with you forever. You have to be different. You have to hold yourself to that little bit higher standard. Yeah, I've done stupid stuff since the Marine Corps. I did stupid stuff in the Marine Corps. But at the same time, I don't think I would ever want to do anything that would, like, tarnish the Marine Corps or tarnish not just my name, but the name of all the other people that have earned it with me.